Okay, so today is the last session of this semester. So in the next semester, we will continue to cover the book on tensor categories. Okay, so last time we continue to talk about algebra in a multitensor category. And we finished by the notion of Morita equivalence. So last time we finished by so what did we say last time? Yeah. Last time we said, we wrote that the algebra X, the algebra A equal with X in C, a multitensor category. This algebra is the generalization of Mnk equal V tensor V star with V equivalent to V to k power n in vec. So this is a really I want to rewrite that because this is really fundamental. This notion, this algebra, is really the generalization of the matrix algebra. So I wanted to, and we said that for usual the Morita equivalence, for in usual algebra correspond to what we wrote before. So two algebra are Morita equivalent if the category of the C-module category are equivalent. So the Morita equivalence is the usual algebra correspond to what we wrote before with C equal vec. So if you apply C equal vec, you get the same notion. And in the usual sense, by usual algebras, yeah, for usual algebra, it is known that M and K is Morita equivalent to K for all n. C. So the categorical generalization is X tensor X star is Morita equivalent to 1 for all X. For all X in C. So by that I mean Morita equivalence. You got it. Morita. So I already mentioned that last time, but I was not perfectly clear. So now it's clear. Okay. And A is Morita equivalent to 1 if and only if A is equal to X tensor X star. So it's an equivalence. Okay. So now this is clear. What about now? So we will talk about exactness. So now we will talk a bit about exactness. Okay, so first remark about exactness. So not every C module category of the form mod CA is exact, not all. So recall we mentioned last time that we also mentioned something important last time, is that if C is finite, then every finite C module category is of this form. But not every such C module category is exact. This leads to the following definition. Definition. So an algebra A in a multitensor category C is called exact if the module category mod CA is exact. An algebra A in a multitensor category C is called exact if the module category, the C module category mod CA is exact. So let me recall what exact means for a C module category. So a C module category is exact if it has enough projective and so where is it? Where I put this so let C be a multitensor category with enough projective objects, which means that every simple object has a projective cover. A C module category is called exact if for all projective objects in C and for all objects in the module, then the module product P with M is projective also. So this is definition of a C module category. So I guess we need C to have enough projective to follow the definition. Multi-tensor category with enough projective object. Need it to have enough projective object to follow the definition of what is an exact C-module category. So in the book, I guess I don't specify that. Let me check. Where is it? Definition. So in the book, it's written, an algebra A in a multi-tensor category is called exact if the module category mod CA is exact. Yeah. So if you follow the definition of an exact C module category, C should have enough projectives. Exact module category. Anyway, so I will not. So I will put a question mark. Put a question mark here because this was not specified in the book. Okay. So an algebra in a multi-tensor category called exact if the C module category mod CA is exact. Okay, so so by definition of Morita equivalence, the exactness is invariant. So not that. The exactness is invariant. Under Morita equivalence. By definition. A bit confused with this. Exact module category over finite tensor category. Yeah, so it's so what I wrote in question mark is correct. Definition 7.5.1 said, let's see the multi-tensor category with enough projective object, a locally finite module category C over M over C is called exact if for any projective, blah, blah, blah. So we really need so C definition in the book. So the exactness is invariant by Morita equivalence because two equivalent C module category, if one is exact, the other is exact. Okay, so now we will define the notion of tensor product over an algebra object. So tensor product of two A module object. One is right, the other is left, and we define a tensor product over A. Definition. Tensor product over an algebra object. So you take an algebra object in a multitensor category C. You take a right A module M, a left A module N, and we will define the tensor product of M and N over A. So let A be an algebra in C. Let MP be a right A module and NQ be a left A module. So tensor product of M and N over A denoted M tensor N. It's an object in C. So, yeah, like that. So it's an object in C denoted like that and defined as follows. Define as follows. Let me check something. Sorry about that. Okay. So, the cokernel of the morphism P tensor IDN minus IDM tensor Q. So you have M tensor A tensor N, and you can go to M tensor N. There is two ways. One way is P tensor IDN. So you reduce that to N by P, and you keep N. Or similarly, IDM tensor Q. And then so by definition of what? The co-kernel. So you should so it's everything is k-linear. So you can define the morphism, this morphism, as a difference of this and this is still a morphism from that to that, because the home space are this is your home space. You can add an morphism, and so the co-kernel, to define the co-kernel, you need is defined as a universal property. So there is a morphism like that. So let's call this morphism alpha. Okay. And this is so M tensor AN is also called the co-equalizer of A-above diagram. So the idea is that more or less you want, so the co-kernel, you should think the co-kernel as a quotient. So the idea is to quotient M tensor N by this relation. Okay. Okay. So maybe I should write that. So the idea is to quotient M tensor N by the relation induced by P tensor ID N minus ID tensor. Just the ID. If you want to make this correct, you said this is a co-kernel of this morphism. Okay. So when you are in when the category C is VEC, then it's really a quotient. You really divide by some relation like that, but here you just need to write it in this more complicated form to be in the general categorical setting. Okay, so exercise. Show that so if you make the tensor product with A as a module, A is a module, then A as a module in some sense is a unit. So A as a left or A module, if you make the tensor product on that, this is invariant. So in that sense, so A is a unit A module according for this tensor product. And in fact, we will mention soon that we have so where is it? On A bimodule, we have a notion of so where is it? I want to say yeah. Yeah. Okay. On the bimodule category, you have a generalization of the notion of natural associativity isomorphism and natural unit isomorphism, and pentagon and triangular relation are satisfied. So I will mention that later if I have time today. Anyway, so this is the first exercise. Second exercise. Show that so the functor induced by the tensor product, this tensor product is right exact. Show that M tensor A like that or like that tensor N are right exact functor. Okay. Okay. So now okay. So now just the coming result is again a result related to natural high junction isomorphism. So lemma. So we state a natural high junction isomorphism related to such a tensor product of A module. So let A be an algebra in C. Let Mn be right A module. So it's right A module. In fact, in the book they wrote left A module, but it's a mistake. It's a mistake I did not found in all the comment I found about this book online. The comment of Pavel Ettinghoff or the comment of Ulrich Thiel, I did not find this mistake. So this is really right, not left A module. Okay. Then there is a natural isomorphism. So this is generalizing the natural high junction isomorphism. So star n x A M x tensor n. So n is a right A module. So star n is a left A module, where where dual n has the structure of left A module. So we already mentioned that we play with the dual and left and right in some previous session. Okay, so you should be careful. Here it's OM-C, here it's OM-A. Here it's a tensor over A. Here it's a tensor this is a C tensor category, tensor product. And so you move this to here. Okay. So proof of that. So we will define this way as a composition. So consider the following composition. So OM-C M tensor A star n to x to OM-C M tensor star n x equivalent to isomorphic to OM-C M tensor x tensor M x tensor n. So this one is the usual natural I-junction isomorphism in C. This is the usual one we mentioned so many times. And here, from a morphism F, here you map, we will use alpha. We will use this alpha. This alpha from the definition of the tensor product of A module. So it's a kind of projection, if you like. It's in category setting, it's epimorphism, something like that. So this alpha, so see this alpha, it goes from M tensor n to M tensor n over A. And this is exactly what we need. Here, it's not n, but star n, but you should think star n as n. It's just, you take the object star n, but this is the same, alpha. In fact, alpha, yeah, anyway. So the previous alpha is for n, here it's star n, but you just think star n as n. It's another object. Okay, so this is the definition. So where alpha is as above, but with star n, so M tensor star n, M tensor A star n coming from the definition of tensor product. Over A. Okay. Now, so okay, we have, so we want to show that this is an isomorphism. So the end of the proof will be the following exercise. Show that the image of this composition is in OM E M extensor N, which is included in OM C M extensor N. So you know that A modulo morphism is a morphism in C, but not all morphisms in C are A modulo morphism. So you have an inclusion here. So you need to show that because you see here, we want a map from there to there. So here it's OM A, but we get a map from there to OM C. But we know that OM C is bigger than OM A. So we need to show in this exercise that the image of that is really in OM A. And the second point of show that the resulting map so from OM C M tensor E star N X OM E M is an isomorphism. Okay. 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 So now, what time is it? 5 minutes before the pause. So let me define the notion of bimodule. So AB bimodule, where AB are two algebra. So this is, as you can expect, you have it's like a left A module, which is also a right B module, and satisfying some extra commuting diagram. So definition. Let A be two algebra in C and A B bimodule in C is a triple MPQ So M is an object in C. So you have, so let me write it like that. So M is an object in C. P is a module product of left A module. I will remove that. Q from M, B, so morphism, object, morphism. Okay, then, so the pair, as you can expect, MP is a left A module in C. The pair MQ is a right B module in C. And we have the following diagram. Save that. And the following diagram commute. So I will write that after the pause. Pause. But you can easily guess what diagram should be written. Okay, so a bimodule, AB module. So it's a left A module, a right B module with a module product P and Q, satisfying the following commuting diagram. So, A tensor M tensor B. So here you can apply the associativity constraint. A tensor M tensor B. P. So here you apply the module product P and the identity on B. So you get M tensor B. Here you apply the module product Q and identity of A, and you get A tensor M. And finally, you apply Q here, P here, and you go to M. So this commute. So this is again the natural way to remove ambiguity. So remark, A is a AA bimodule. Bimodule by the associativity of the multiplication. Associativity of the multiplication M. Which is exactly the same diagram the same diagram to prove that A is the AA bimodule. This diagram, when you replace M by A, is exactly, and B A equal B equal M equal A. This diagram is exactly the diagram of associativity for the multiplication. Okay. Now, so now we define what is a AB bimodule. We can define what is a AB bimodule homomorphism. The AB bimodule homomorphism is just a morphism in C, which is a left A module homomorphism and a right B module homomorphism. So homomorphism of A, B bimodule is a morphism in C, which is a homomorphism of left A module and right B module. Okay. So now we will mention how to denote the space of AB bimodule homomorphism. And when A equal, so AB, yeah. And then that will be the morphism of a new category denoted B mod CAB. So let MN be AB bimodule. So the space of AB bimodule homomorphism bimodule homomorphism from M to N is denoted A B M N. Okay. And that will be the morphism in a new category. AB bimodule in C and their homomorphism form a category denoted B mod C et B. So the next remark state that, so when we talk about bimodule before that, we said, okay, a bimodule, when we talk about bimodule category, in fact, we said, okay, a bimodule is like a module over something like A tensor B op or something like that. So we said that before, but here we cannot do that here. For bimodule over algebra object, we cannot define bimodule over algebra object as a module over some other object defined by tensor product and opposite, taking opposite, as we did before. We cannot do that in general. So in a multi-tensor category C, in general, neither the opposite algebra nor the tensor product of algebra is defined in general. Nor the tensor product of algebra is defined in general. So in too much in general. In general. So in general, we cannot define a B bimodule as module over a tensor P up, because, as I said, because this object is not defined in general. So yeah. So now what about if A equal B? If A equal B, we will simplify the notation as follows. We will say A bimodule instead of AA bimodule, and the category will be denoted B mod CA instead of B mod CAA. Notation. A bimodule. Min A bimodule. B mod C A min B mod C A. Simplify the notation like that. Now, exercise on the bimodule. So take 3 algebra objects in C. B algebra in C. The exercise is to show the existence of a canonical map so you have AB bimodule and BC bimodule, and you want to make AC bimodule, and the canonical map will use the tensor product. Show the existence of a canonical map. So B mod C A, B, cross B mod C, B, C, to B mod C et C. M, N maps to M tensor B, N. So you said, okay, what is the point of this exercise? Because I already wrote the map. The point is then to prove that this really has a canonical AC bimodule structure. So the point of the exercise is to show that M tensor N over B has a canonical structure of AC bimodule. Of AC bimodule. Okay. So now we can, so the next exercise will be, so we will be able, will be to show to make natural associativity isomorphism, natural unit isomorphism, and to prove the pentagon as a triangular relation for such bimodule. So it's not really this is not in a fixed. We are not proving something in a fixed mod B mod CAB. We are proving that for several B mod CAB. So I don't know in what sense you have a kind of it's not really a monoidal category what you get, but they should have some structure, some name for that. I don't know. So exercise. So let A, B, C, D be algebra in C. And so we will consider the bimodule category mod CAB, mod B mod C BC, and B mod C CD, and B mod C AD. So the algebra in the category C. The exercise is to make a first natural associativity isomorphism so like that, tensor B, tensor C, tensor B, tensor C. So this is like the natural associative isomorphism in the definition of a monoidal category. The point here is that you don't have the same. So it's not a monoidal category because you don't have the same tensor product. Yeah. So it's a kind of generalization, maybe. So but then if you take A equal B equal C equal D equal A, maybe you have a structure of monoidal category in B mod CA. I will. This is not stated in the book, so maybe should be careful about that. but I will put this as a question. So where? So natural isomorphism, it's a natural transformation between two functors, which given by a collection of isomorphism here. So what are the functors? So the usual functor like that. From B mod C A B cross B mod C B C cross B mod C C D to B mod C A D. So be careful, of course. This C and this C are not the same. This one is a category and the other is an object in this category. One is a straight C and the other is curved C, something like that. So M N P maps to mod M tensor N over B tensor P over C. And similarly, you define this functor. So we have to show this natural associativity isomorphism, and then natural unit isomorphism. Isomorphism. So L A tensor A. Là. Fit to that. So you replace the line by yeah, it's a functor by some object. So this this L is a natural transformation, so given by a collection of morphism. This is a collection. When you write explicitly the object here, this provides a collection. Otherwise, you put this line or you put nothing. Like that. And finally, prove so I should put a straight line. So this straight line, to avoid confusion, this straight line correspond to this. If you want to write the collection of morphism of this natural transformation, you just put the same object here or the same object here. Okay, and finally prove the pentagon equation, pentagon and triangle relation for this isomorphism. So if I am not mistaken, but I have a doubt because it is not written in the book, or maybe I missed something, but if I am, so unless I missed something by above exercise, B mod C A as a structure of monoidal category, I guess. If you take just A equal B equal C equal D equal A, then you have as a structure of monoidal category. This looks true, but this is strange. It's not stated in the book, so I'm afraid I missed something. So unless I miss something, variable exercise, B mod CA as a structure of monoidal category. Just take equal B equal C equal D. And otherwise, I don't know how to call that. In general, it's not a monoidal category, but they should have a categorical structure to qualify such thing. I don't know. I will look at that. Okay. So what time is it? Remain 20 minutes. So for the last 20 minutes, let me introduce the notion of separable algebra. Definition. So a fundamental notion, really fundamental notion of separable algebra, which is very close to the notion of Frobenius algebra, which we will introduce in the next semester. So an algebra is tensor category. So here it's a tensor category, it's not a multi-tensor category. The tensor category C is called separable if the multiplication morphism M split as an homomorphism of A by module. So that will require some explanation. It's called separable. So so very important. If the multiplication morphism M split, so I will explain what I mean. Split as an homomorphism of A by module. Okay. So there are 3 points here. First, we need to see that this morphism M is really an homomorphism of A by module. And that will be exactly given by the associativity of M as before. Then we need to define what we mean by split. So split, that means there is a section. You can come back. by the section. So just you can come back, so you can you have a comeback such that the composition of that and that is identity of A. And this split, this section should also be an homomorphism of A by module. So there are 3 points. So the first point, which is easy. So first, so let me explain a bit this definition. First, M is really an homomorphism of A by module. By the associativity diagram, of M. So an homomorphism of A by module, so it should be an homomorphism of left A module and right A module. And we already define what is such homomorphism. And this definition of such left A module homomorphism and left B module homomorphism require diagram to commute, and in fact this diagram will be exactly the associativity diagram. So let me write it quickly. So the right A module homomorphism diagram is as follows. So here A tensor B, A tensor A and A are considered as a right A module. So here you consider A tensor A as a right A module. And so you apply so the morphism. Here you apply the morphism. You want to prove it is a right A module morphism, IDA by definition. So you get that. And here you should get, so someone emitted. And here, this is the module product of A tensor A as a right A module. So we define that like that. A. So the associativity constraint. And then the like that. ID A tensor M. So this is the module product. Module product of A tensor A as right A module. And this is the module product of A as a right A module. And then you apply the morphism you want. So you should be careful. The M you use here do not have the same significance. So this is the same M, but is not used as in the definition. Here, this M is a M you want to prove it's a right homomorphism, right A module homomorphism, and this M is used to define the module product. So this one, module, this is a module product of A as a right A by module. As right A module. Okay. And you observe that this is equivalent to, this is exactly the same thing. The associativity of M. So this is given by the definition. So by definition, M is automatically, by definition of algebra, M is automatically a right A module morphism. And similarly, it's a left A module morphism. So M is automatically an homomorphism of right A module. Similarly, is automatically a morphism of left A module. You draw the same diagram as above. Next, what's the meaning of split? So this is the first point. I said there are 3 points. Next, so first, first. Next, M from A tensor A to A split if, so by definition, if there is a morphism delta from A to A tensor A such that M composed with delta is the identity of A. So you can draw the picture if you like that. You have A, and you come back like that. So if you want, this corresponds to delta, and this corresponds to M, and this is identity. So, and finally, to the last point, finally, delta is a bimodule homomorphism. Homomorphism. And so, as before, you can draw the bimodule homomorphism. So you have to draw the left and right. This is for the left. This is for the right. And we idem for the left. And here we have again to draw. So let me write it quickly like that. then data ID et M et tensor et. And here this is a module product morphism. So I write it directly compose like that. So that should commute. So that corresponds to this picture. We can draw. We can draw in this fashion here. So this corresponds to so pictorially. It's like that. So I will write a picture for that equal that, and this is exactly like that. So you have something like that, and then you apply that like that, and that should be equal to like that. So this is for I say for right maybe. Is for right. And you have the same for left. The left, and you have. I hope I did not confuse left and right like that. You first does. And then, okay. Right, and you should have the same for left. So I don't draw the diagram for left. So you have the diagram for left also. I have no time. Left. Okay. So. So because today is the last session of the semester, I wanted to finish something. So I hope I will not be too late. Okay. So let me write this remark. So remark. Above property. So this equality, my above property, I mean this these two equality. For separable algebra is shared. This property is shared by another fundamental notion called by the other fundamental notion of Frobenius algebra. What is a Frobenius algebra? Frobenius algebra object in C. Frobenius algebra object A in C. So what is that? So it's an algebra object, as usual. Is an algebra object C, but you also have a coalgebra structure. Is a coalgebra. So we did not mention that, but this is a dual notion of algebra object. In C, coalgebra object, and above two diagram, what I call the star. So this this diagram and this diagram given by these two equality, these two pictures. And these two diagram, which means delta is a bimodule homomorphism. It's exactly the meaning of this diagram. Homomorphism. So I wanted to finish this semester by mentioning some connection, some explicit connection with my first course 2 semesters before about subfactor planar algebra. So the notion of Frobenius algebra, and this will be the end of what I wanted to say today, is in the already appear in the subfactor theory where it is called Q system. So in some sense, so see the work of Müger. The notion of Frobenius algebra is a categorical generalization of the notion of subfactor. Is a categorical generalization of the notion of subfactor n included in M, where n and m are factor. Usually for Q system they are type 3 one factor, and n so usually n m are 3 one factor, and n is a Frobenius algebra or Q system given by a Frobenius algebra in the tensor category and M. Something like that. Okay. Is given by, maybe not is, but is given by M is by Frobenius algebra in tensor category, none. Okay. So that's all for this semester. So see you next semester. That's all.